Kmart was on practically every corner in America. Sears was where the whole country shopped. And Toys R Us was a kid's idea of heaven. And today, almost every one of them has vanished. These were the stores we were sure would be around forever. Now they live only in our memories. Today we are walking back through the great American stores that shaped growing up and what made each one unforgettable. You knew exactly what was coming the second you heard it. Attention, Kmart shoppers. The whole store stopped because somewhere a blue light started spinning and a deal had just begun. A store manager came up with the blue light special in 1965 to move slow merchandise, and somehow it became a national event. Kmart was the biggest discount chain in America, with more than 2,400 stores at its peak. And then there was that little cafeteria and the sub sandwich we still cannot forget. Now that blue light is gone for good. For decades, Sears was the biggest retailer in the whole country, the place where families bought just about everything. But the real magic showed up once a year in the mailbox. The Sears Wish Book landed every fall, and we spent hours flipping through hundreds of pages, circling everything we hoped to find under the tree at Christmas. And plenty of us still keep a Kenmore appliance running or a set of Craftsman tools out in the garage to this day. Sears once had more than 3,500 stores across the country, and today you can count what is left on one hand.
The best in America, Radio Shack. Nobody compares to Radio Shack.
Radio Shack was the place we went whenever we needed a battery, an odd cable, or one little pack of resistors. It got its start in 1921, selling radio gear for hobbyists, and by the 80s it had grown past 7,000 stores. But what made it special was the man behind the counter. You could describe a part you could not even name, and he knew exactly what you meant. A lot of us still remember the Battery Club card, good for one free battery every single month. They even gave us the TRS-80, one of the first home computers a family could actually buy. For a lot of us, Toys R Us was the closest thing to heaven a kid could imagine. We knew every aisle by heart, and we could tell you exactly which shelf held the toy we had been begging for all year. Charles Lazarus opened the first one back in 1957, and pretty soon, Geoffrey the Giraffe was waving at us from every television set. And then, there was that song.
I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid.
From bikes to trains to video games, it really was the greatest toy store there ever was. Walking through those doors felt like the best day of the whole year. There was Woolworth, the 5 and dime you saw on Main Street in just about every town. Frank Woolworth opened the first one back in 1879, and the whole variety store idea started right there. But what we remember most is the lunch counter at the back. We would climb onto one of those swivel stools, spin around while we waited, and order a grilled cheese or a root beer float right there in the store. By 1997, the last American stores had closed their doors for good.
Push it, click it, press it, flick it, tune it in, turn it on. This is what you watch it on. Any way you work it, integrate your circuit.
When it was time to buy something big, a new television, a VCR, your first stereo system, Circuit City was where the whole family headed. It started back in 1949 in Richmond, Virginia, and went on to pioneer the whole electronic superstore idea that everybody else copied. For a while, it was the second biggest electronics chain in the country. Then Best Buy and online shopping caught up fast, and by 2009, every last store had gone dark. An afternoon at Borders was a little event all its own. It was the place where you could lose a whole hour just wandering the aisles. There was a coffee bar in the back, big comfortable chairs, and more books than you could ever get through. You would settle into one of those chairs, flip through a magazine, and stay a lot longer than you meant to. Then Amazon came along, and by 2011, every Borders had closed. Funny how we used to drive across town just to go look at books. Do you remember that smell the moment you walked into an A&P? Every store had a bright red grinder up near the checkout, and the second someone poured in a bag of 8 o'clock beans, the whole place filled with that warm, roasted smell. For generations, A&P was the grocery store where families did their shopping week after week. At its peak, the chain ran more than 15,000 stores, and 1 out of every 8 grocery dollars in the country went through an A&P register. After more than 150 years, the last one went dark in 2015. Friday night had a routine, and it started with a trip to Blockbuster. You knew that blue and yellow sign from a mile away, and you headed straight for the new releases wall, hoping the movie everyone wanted was not already gone. You picked your tape, grabbed some popcorn at the counter, and handed over that membership card. And every single one came with the same reminder: be kind, please rewind. At its peak, there were more than 9,000 stores. Today, just one is left, way out in Bend, Oregon, like a little museum of the way movie night used to feel. Before there was Sears, there was Montgomery Ward, the very first company to sell by mail order anywhere in the world. Aaron Montgomery Ward started it in Chicago in 1872, sending out catalogs so folks out in the country could order anything they needed and have it shipped right to them. Just about everybody had a name for it, though, and that name was Monkey Ward's. We grew up calling it that without even thinking twice. The stores stuck around for well over a century, but the doors finally closed for good in 2001.
Right now, something incredible is happening at Zayre because we're kicking off Christmas with a sale that runs round the clock until late Saturday night.
Zayre never tried to look fancy, and that was the whole charm of it. That bright red sign meant you could walk in for one thing and leave with a cart full of stuff you never planned on. A toy, a clock radio, a few records. For families watching every dollar, it was treasure hunting you could actually afford. By the late 80s, there were around 400 stores, and then the chain was sold off and the name vanished. But here is the twist nobody expects. Zayre is the company that gave us TJ Maxx, still going strong today. Picture writing your shopping list on a little paper form with a golf pencil, handing it to a clerk, and watching your stuff come rolling out of the back on a conveyor belt. That was service merchandise, and there was no other store quite like it. You walked through a showroom full of display models, jotted down the item numbers of whatever you wanted, and waited a minute for it to appear. For a kid, it felt like pure magic. It grew into one of the biggest catalog showroom chains in the country. But by 2002, every last one had shut its doors. Every one of these stores has its own story, and a lot of them have their own full video right here on the channel. So take a look after this. Which store do you miss the most? Drop it in the comments and hit subscribe to Memory Trails so you do not miss the next one.